Are you a first-time homebuyer ready to make the biggest investment of your life?
Hold on. Before you sign those papers, here's 5 types of homes that you should never buy as a first-time homebuyer.
Now, having bought lots of homes ourselves, these are property types that we would never add to our portfolio. First on our list are homes that have recently been flipped. Now, a fresh renovation can be super appealing. I mean, who doesn't love new floors or shiny appliances? But beware, many flippers are in it just to get a quick buck, and they prioritize doing things in a fast fashion rather than building quality homes that last.
When you're walking through a recently flipped house, it's important to keep an eye out for the type of work that was done. Does it seem like it was done by a professional, or maybe was it DIY or cheap contractors that rushed through the work and didn't really use quality materials? So when you're looking through the home, take a look out for things like gaps in the flooring, uneven baseboards, or kitchen cabinets that are all out of whack. If that's the type of effort that they put in on these surface level things that we can actually see with our eyes, think about what's going on behind the surface. Things like electrical issues or plumbing that could cause problems in the future.
Now, even worse than just covering up some of those issues is if they did work on the electrical or the plumbing or other major systems in the home without getting the proper permits for it. This means that it was not properly inspected to make sure that these changes meet building codes, and it could cause serious issues down the road for you. So making sure that your realtor is able to pull permits on some of that work that was done is a crucial step.
And of course, not every flipper is like this. There definitely are some good and professional workers out there that take care and do quality work when they're flipping a home. However, it's important, like George said, get that documentation, get the proof that everything was done up to par. If you find this video and information helpful, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to our channel for future videos like this. The second type of home that we would never buy is homes on a busy street or near industrial commercial complexes.
As we always like to say, location, location, location is the most important thing when you're buying a home, and a beautiful home can quickly lose its value when it's placed in a bad location.
So what's the issue with these? Well, you have noise pollution, constant traffic going by, car horns honking, or that noise coming from industrial areas can make relaxing a pretty difficult time.
And there can also be air quality concerns due to higher pollution levels, which is never good for your health.
If you have children or pets, safety is always a top concern, and busy streets can be quite dangerous. That increased traffic flow can also increase accidents.
And the biggest concern with backing onto a busy street is the resale challenges. Many buyers avoid homes that back onto busy streets or are near industrial areas, which means that the pool of buyers looking at your home when you go to sell it is going to be significantly smaller, which means it will take longer for you to sell your home, and you'll likely sell it for less money.
If you are looking at a home that's on a busier street and you're considering whether or not it's the right fit for you, here's a few things that you can do to figure that out.
A great start is to visit the location during different times of the day to see how the traffic flow changes and if the noise is constant or if it just happens during certain peak rush hours.
You'll also want to check local zoning plans, so future developments could increase traffic flow or change the character of the area, so make sure you check those out and see what future plans the city has.
And lastly, stand out in the yard as well as inside of the home with the windows open or closed and just listen to see how much noise you can hear. You'll always hear a little bit of traffic no matter where you're living in the city, but what you want to gauge is how noisy it is. Do you hear lots of trucks going by? Does it really feel like a lot of hustle and bustle going on outside? That's the stuff you want to avoid. If you're new to this channel, my name is George, this is Vince. We're local real estate agents here in the Waterloo region, and if you're thinking about buying, selling, or renting real estate and you want help avoiding these pitfalls, you can reach out to us at the number that's on the screen right now, or book a time to talk to us with the link in the comments.
Number 3 on the list, and this one's critical. This one is like the iceberg to your Titanic. Structural issues. They can sink your investment.
This one is not a big surprise. Everybody knows that you should avoid homes with major structural issues. But what are these structural issues that you should be looking out for? The first and biggest one comes down to the foundation. So if your foundation is having issues, that is going to cause serious problems down the road. Things you want to look out for are things like big cracks or widening cracks in the foundation, especially if you see a horizontal crack in the foundation. That indicates a major issue. Now, vertical cracks in the foundation can be common in homes in Canada, especially with our winters and then freezing and thawing. Foundations do crack from time to time, but if you're seeing lots of different cracks in the foundation or they're really widening cracks, that's when you should be concerned.
Some other areas where cracks are a little more common to be seen is around the corners of windows or door frames. Again, if you've got a couple here and there, not a big deal, but if you're seeing it in every room and there's multiple, then it starts to raise some eyebrows. Also, there's drywall hairline cracks. That's also completely normal. It's caused from a little bit of shifting from the drywall. A little bit of that, not a big deal. Once you get into multiple, again, it's raising a yellow flag.
Additionally, if you're seeing any indicators of water damage, things such as mildew or mold or a really stinky basement smell, like it's really moldy down there, that is a big indicator that there are serious issues going on with water seeping into the home. And especially if you see mold, that can be a big problem because the surface level mold that you see could be going all throughout the house, and that can be a major cost when it comes to repairing.
Lastly, you want to take a look at the roof's condition. If there's sagging or uneven roof lines, that can point to some structural roof issues, and that's another sign for concern.
Keep in mind, all houses settle over time. There's slight shifts and movements in every house, so some of these items might appear on a surface level and aren't actually a cause for concern. This is why it's really important to have a professional with you that has experience with homes and can point these things out and let you know if it's something that needs to be investigated further by an inspector or a specialized contractor.
Number 4 on the list is homes with odd layouts. Have you ever walked into a home and thought,
Yes, I have. I walk into homes every day, believe it or not.
Have you ever walked into a home? Have you ever walked into a home? Number 4 on the list is homes with odd layouts. Have you ever walked into a home? Number 4 on the list is homes with odd layouts. Have you ever walked into a home and thought, what were they thinking?
Homes with really strange or even unique layouts, weird hallways, weird separation of bedrooms can be a big detractor when you're trying to resell the home. And while the price may appear more attractive today, you have to keep in mind that it's going to be more difficult to resell a property like this in the future.
Having been through many homes ourselves through showings with clients, we've seen all kinds of layouts. And what we've learned is most families prefer to have all the bedrooms on one level. So when there's a home that has one bedroom per level, although it might appeal to some type of living, most people are not interested in that type of layout. So when you have these weird and quirky layouts with the property, it can make things a lot more difficult.
And last on our list are homes needing major renovations. While a renovation project may seem tempting and HGTV makes it look like a fun thing to do with your family and the price point seems really attractive, it can be a serious money pit, especially if you're a first-time homebuyer who doesn't have experience with projects like this.
George and I have renovated several properties throughout our career, and two things that we know for sure is that the costs are always underestimated, because when you start pulling things back, you find out there's a lot more that needs to be done than you even anticipated. And the second thing is the time in which it can be completed is overestimated. We think we can get things done a lot sooner than they actually get done, and that can be quite challenging, especially if you need that place to live in.
And speaking of challenging, it is a very stressful and time-consuming process. Managing contractors, permits from the city, and living in a construction zone will put your relationship to the test.
When we're talking about these renovations, we're talking about major projects like a complete gut job, renovating top to bottom everything. We're not so much talking about those little things like painting a wall, changing a few light fixtures, getting new appliances, or even renovating a kitchen that's currently functional. Those things aren't actually deal breakers for you, and they shouldn't get in the way of you entering your first property.
Now, we want to hear from you. What types of issues have you had in properties?
What types of properties do you stay away from?
And what types of issues do you never want to see in a home?
Do us a favor, answer in the comments below. Your experiences could help somebody else avoid these costly mistakes.
Hopefully this video didn't scare you too much. Buying a home is a big step, but with the right guidance and a careful approach, you can make a decision that you're happy with for many years to come.